Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Sydney if you're new here. In this video, we are going to be going on a vacation in Tobermory where we hit a bunch of different cool things. Some of my favorites being going to Flowerpot Island, checking out the Fathom 5 Marine Park in Ontario, being up along the Bruce Peninsula, hiking the Grotto, hiking Indian Cove, and just checking out the area. So if you want to come along and watch, this is the video for you. This is my dad. First time he's ever been on the vlog. And just for clarity, this is my mom, Melissa, who will also be joining us in the vlog. We're gonna ask some questions about where we've been and what we're doing, just to fill you in on what we've done so far. So to start, where did we come in at and where did we drive up? Because currently we're in Tobermory.
Left home from Decatur, we drove through Toledo, we drove through Detroit, and north of Detroit we crossed at Sarnia, crossed into Ontario. We basically drove up the west side of the Bruce Peninsula.
Alright, so just to give some context, we are driving over from Detroit into Sarnia, Canada, crossing the border, and then we stopped for some lunch at Skeeter Barlow's Grill and Bar. It was absolutely delicious. The food and drink options were amazing. The service was great, but the view was even better. It was such a beautiful day. Calm weather, nice sun shining out over the water, had people paddleboarding. It was absolutely gorgeous. From there, we continued on, arrived at our Bruce Anchor Motel, walked around, and happened to catch the MS Chichimon unloading the cars and coming into dock for a little bit. That was amazing. And then we continued to the rest of the marina where we checked out the boats, the water, the shops, and then we stopped to grab some dinner before we called it quits for the night. We are preparing to go on a Flowerpot Island tour. Is it a glass bottom boat? Or is it just a regular
I don't think
boat?
it is a glass bottom boat, but it is a drop-off tour. We'll get dropped off on Flowerpot for 3 hours.
Yep, and then we'll hike there and check out the island, see what's up, come home, and hopefully we'll have some good clips for you. And of course, before we went on that boat tour, we had to check out the local Big Tub Lighthouse. Beautiful views, a lot of really great history, and it was just so scenic and fun to check out. Definitely suggest stopping by there. And we were able to pass it again once we did go on the boat tour.
All right, we left Little Tub Harbor on the tour boat, went to Big Tub Harbor, went over 2 shipwrecks, and basically cruised out to Flowerpot Island, went around a few islands. We saw a bear swimming in the water, which he said only happens a couple times a year. And we just landed on Flowerpot Island, so we are headed to hike over to the lighthouse.
That mountain hike was so incredibly scenic and beautiful, and we made it to the lighthouse, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The weather ended up being perfect. It's supposed to rain. It has not. The clouds have gone away a little bit. They're still there, but it's still kind of sunny and just absolutely beautiful. One of the really cool things about this area and this lighthouse specifically in the Georgian Bay is that you can actually volunteer for a weekend to maintain the museum here and maintain the lighthouse, I guess. Basically, you live here for a weekend and you can just hang out, enjoy the amenities, I suppose, and volunteer to maintain everything. It's really beautiful.
Run the gift shop.
All right, we tried Coffee Crisp, Mars Bar, and a Canadian Kit Kat. What are your opinions? Do you have a favorite?
I did not notice a difference on the Kit Kat. Tasted pretty American-like. I haven't had an American Mars in forever, so I couldn't tell you. And Coffee Crisp, very coffee flavor. Enjoyed it.
We were told that the chocolates were different from American chocolate, so I don't know. I believe them, but it tastes pretty similar. Do you have any strong feelings or opinions?
No, I do not have a problem, but I agree with Dad's statement. The Mars and the Kit Kat pretty similar. This is very coffee. It's very refreshing. I like the Coffee Crisp myself.
Yep. Is the Coffee Crisp your favorite?
Coffee Crisp is probably my favorite, but no peanuts in any of these, and I'm missing my peanuts.
Snickers.
Yep. Snickers for life. Now you've got to give your thoughts.
Wonderful day. We had no set plans. Things just kind of fell into place. Had a wonderful mountain hike.
Yeah.
Visited the lighthouse. Flower pots. It was a good day.
Yep, and now you have a rock lounge chair.
Yes.
And Mom's enjoying the view.
The rest of my bones.
Are you guys excited for the hike?
Oh yeah. Sun's shining. It'll be a good day.
Going to the grotto. Do you want to rate the difficulty of this climb? It's literally straight up. What?
It's crazy.
Yep, but it's beautiful. And there's no one else down here. One thing I definitely do want to note is if you're going to climb down into the grotto, we had to climb across that very thin, steep section of rock, so definitely be careful doing that. Also, another neat thing is that you can swim through that light blue opening into and out of the grotto when the water temperature is a little bit more comfortable and less cold. Okay, so after we finished our hike through the grotto, we stopped over at this little stretch and had some snacks and lunch before continuing our hike over to Mar Lake, which is over there on the left near that rock beach. Here is a clip of that. But after we finished our hike and headed back to the car, we drove over to Singing Sands, which is just supposed to be this big stretch of beach with some wind and open water where the sands are supposedly supposed to sing to you. Unfortunately, we didn't hear it today, but I'd love to go back and maybe check that out again. If you can't tell, it's a bit chilly. Very windy. After hanging out at the Singing Sands, we walked along the boardwalk and checked out the marshy area, then called it a night, went to bed, and it was the next day already. Here we were just showing us loading our car onto the MS Chichimon. It was a really cool experience. I haven't seen anyone else post any videos of this, so just wanted to give some context of what it looks like. Really, it's super cool to see and experience. Definitely suggest doing it. But we're heading over to the island of Manitoulin from Tobermory to continue our vacation. Hopefully you'll want to join us in that next video, or just check out what they have to offer over there. But just saw some amazing views from the top of the boat, saw an amazing lighthouse, and really just enjoyed the 2-hour ferry ride over to Manitoulin. Hello, welcome back. So we're going to give a little recap of what we did yesterday. We went hiking in the Bruce Peninsula National Park. We went along Horse Lake and then along Huron to hike to Indian Head Cove and then the Grotto. And then we hiked over to Mar Lake and then came back on the Georgian Bay Trail back to our parking. And then we drove over to the Singing Sands, checked that out for a little bit. And after that we kind of went home, showered, did some laundry, and then got some food and ice cream and wrapped up our time in Tobermory. We are currently on the MS Chichimon heading over to Manitoulin Island. So hopefully you can all catch us in the next vlog for that. While we're on Manitoulin, we'll hit Gore Bay and also Little Current. So hopefully you can all enjoy that when we do that. Okay, so we're gonna do some quick tips and tricks for if you decide to travel up to Tobermory or down, depending on where you're at. First of all, we want to say that it is a little bit expensive because it is a little bit more of a touristy area. So just be prepared for that. Unfortunately, if you've watched any other videos, they no longer have the beaver tail stand, but that's okay, it's still fun. There is no gas station in Tobermory. That's definitely an important one. We didn't realize whenever we were going up, so definitely keep that in mind as you're going. I would say July to August is probably the busy season, and June is starting to get into there, but it's not quite the busiest season. Also, I'm gonna hand it to Dad for the information about parking passes and day passes whenever you go to the Bruce Peninsula National Park to the Grotto.
Yeah, you have to book a 4-hour block in the Bruce Peninsula National Park because it is so busy. So you have to go online and you have to do that in advance. And you pay for your parking and you pay for your park entrance online. So when you show up, they scan the code on your phone and let you in. But don't just show up at the park without prearranged 4-hour blocks.
Yes. And then we want to just throw in some of our favorite places while we were there. 1, the Crow's Nest. They had great service, great pizza. 2, the Sweet Shop. We loved their ice cream. The service was also amazing there. And 3, Explore Caffeinated. Once again, great service, great coffee, and also they had really interesting Montreal bagels that were super delicious. So those are our 3 favorite spots in Tobermory. Thank you. What?
Also love the bookstore.
Oh yes, of course. Also love the bookstore. Can't forget that one. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe and join us for any other videos that we post. Once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you can join me in the next one.